Let's go. And welcome back. Hello and welcome back to another episode of That Makes Games. And today I wanted to start out a new project of mine, which is another WebGL game. And this game will be suitable for kids also. And in this game I wanted to include some systems, some elements inside my game, but before that I'm feeling a little sorry to record after too much time, and that's why I'm feeling sorry, but in the end I managed to start recording back, and my kids had some problems, had some troubles with their sleep schedules and with some sickness, but we are getting over it. So at the end I'm in front of you, so let's just go and dive into this game. And I'm thinking about this game. As you can see, before I started to dive into the development of this game, I wanted to talk about a little bit about how I plan and how I imagine this game. Actually, most of the time I'm using PowerPoint. You can use anything else, but PowerPoint is an easy to go tool with me, and many of the people may use pen and paper or some other programs and etc. But in that, just to have the thing in my mind into reality, or just pour my ideas into visual things, the PowerPoint is the best tool for me. So as you can see, I have a slide over here, and in this slide it's showing most of the parts of my game that I have the idea of. Actually, I'm thinking about this game to be placed in the outer space, and this game will have a character about it. As you can see, this little guy, this little astronaut over there, and also there is another guy about this robot. The robot is responsible for directing the player over the spaceship. Actually, the game will be located not in the spaceship, but inside the greenhouse, inside the spaceship, which is called the Galactic Greenhouse. And the guy, our main guy, this little astronaut, is responsible for for growing up the vegetables or some plants inside this galactic greenhouse. And this guy needed to be careful about the heat issues, the heating of the issues. Then there will be some systems about heating in order to also teach the player. And the first thing, as you can see, I have several systems. I have some cubes that represent these sections, but this is my chapter 1 idea in this section, and I'm thinking about getting this player over here, and it will have some movement controls with joystick and with keyboard, and the player can move this guy around the greenhouse that's inside this area. And the player needed to be successfully make the tasks. So first, the player needed to go over here and grab a pot, and these are the raising areas, raising sections. For example, player needed to go to this location and grab this pot and put the pot over 20 degrees, and then let's say the plant needs 15 degrees, and then player needed to go over there and start this fan in order to lower the temperature over here 20 degrees to 15 degrees. So the first system I need this drag and drop system for this pot, and the second system I need is the fan, and the fan needed to affect this drop zone. And the third system I will need is probably to making and getting this pot over the drop zone, and after dropping, player just needed to this drop zone needed to be responsible for that if the player may correctly grows the plants or not. So this is for the chapter 1 section, and actually it seems like I already make it like a little animation. And as you can see, player needed to go over here to over the pot, and the pot is done. The plant raises, and then player needed to drop it to the drop zone. And this is for the chapter 1. And for the chapter 2 section, I needed to I'm making the puzzle a little more complex, and in this section I had this insulator and conductors, and after player places the pots, let's say the fan blows from here all the way down to here as a tunnel, and if the player places an insulator or a conductor in between them, the fan effect will change. And for the last section, player will be responsible for these lights. Also, player is, in addition to moving the fans, player also directed these lights over the plants, over the sections, and so on. This is for the chapter 3 section also. So basically this is the prototyping phase of me for this game, and today I wanted to start over a little bit. Actually I already started a little bit, and let me show you what I have done. Okay, here it is. What I have done is that, so let's run this in play maximized, and as you can see I have imported some things, some systems from my previous game, which is this joystick button over here and this settings button for the music and text to speech, and I haven't bind up the things. And in addition to this, as you can see, the character moves with these joystick buttons and also with the keyboards. And that's all of the things I have all imported from my previous game. And today I'm thinking about implementing this timeline section into my dialog flow, because I have had some problems in my dialog flow, and this is a troublesome thing for me, and I'm investing some time I have invested some time in order to learn this timeline section inside the Unity, and using timeline may be an easy to go thing for me, because as you can see over here, you can play your thing over this timeline, and you can also add some other tracks such as activation track, animation track, and etc., and you can control audio track. And also in the flow of my game, let's say in the first chapter, I'm thinking that I will have an intro to game timeline, and for the second chapter. After the first chapter is finished, I'm thinking about implementing chapter 1 starts timeline and chapter 2 start timeline and game end timeline. And the good thing about using these timelines, it's really easy to play with actually. And after some trial and error and going through the sample assets, by the way, Unity provided really good sample assets, but I decided not to use them in order to keep the game as simple as possible. So I'm only thinking about using these signal emitters for this game, for this section, and right now I'm trying to implement this. I'm trying to play with this. I'm trying to learn these things, and as you can see in my chapter welcome timeline, which is this thing, save, next. Okay, something is broken. Next button is enabled. Next button is enabled. Timeline list in order. Okay. I needed to have a language file. Yes, this is my language file. Welcome to the... Actually, this is my previous game. Welcome to the Galactic Greenhouse. And for the next text, okay. This is not the thing I'm looking for. Come on. Add plus plus. Yes. Alex. Okay. What is this? I have had some text already created. Hey Alex. Welcome text 1. Welcome text 2. Welcome text 3. Welcome text 5. Text 6 and text 7. Okay, let me just go over here and let's add 7 elements. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. And what this timeline will do is that let's play this on awake. Where is my next button? And let's keep this next button disabled. Welcome to the Galactic Greenhouse, and next button. Okay, do not play this on maximized. Okay, let's try this timeline. Initial time, current time, it's in hold section. Pause timeline. It enables the button, but I want to next. And it pauses over here, and next. And it pauses over here. So how about also play this thing, cutscene load text and okay, I also had some issue with this initial scene needed to be inside here. Load text. Referenced behavior is missing. Question field complete. What does this even mean? Let's remove this and this also. And yes, loader. Okay. Say this, let's unload this scene and load this scene and try again. Serialized object not created. Okay, this is my timeline. Next. But it has some errors. Signal receiver. Okay, what's wrong with you? Let's remove this and try like this. Next. Okay, it's still not working. Load next string. Okay, it's not loading this string. Twin startup failed. The twin now be killed. Twin safe. Debugger lord. Serialized objects not creatable if object is index is null. Let's search for this error. Second inspector. What? I have to restart. Wait, do I have a second inspector? No, I have only one. Okay, I do not have any second inspector. Let's save this and reopen this. And let's play again. I'm next. Also, I do not see the .v in text is working. Current index. Let's set the current index to 0 and on complete index plus. How about this? Okay, current index is still 0. Still 0. Debug. Next thing called. Okay, it looks like this does not call this load next string section. Next string. And another tick. Okay. Handle question game is ready. Load next string called. Null target. Did I assign this field? Of course not. That's the reason probably. Cutscene loads. Cutscene loads. I did not assign this field. In-game GUI, talk balloon, beats. Hey Alex, welcome to the Galactic Greenhouse. Been a long time to see you around, but before doing that, let's just flush the old value. String empty. To the Galactic Greenhouse. It's been a long time I see someone around here. Okay, chapter welcome timeline. At the beginning, it should just call this load next string. Oh, okay. If I change this pause timeline signal, where are my timeline signals? Game start timeline. Yes, the subtitle timeline. Game start. Delete this. Pause timeline and another one start timeline and another one as end timeline. And let's see. Change this to start timeline. Another 2, 4, 6, 8, and let's say 10. Let's say these two and timeline. Let's go to the start timeline at reaction. Start timeline should only there's this thing load text string value, and the next one should also be responsible for pausing the playable director pause, and also next button. Where's the next button? Next button, game object, set active, pause timer. And let's save this and start it again. Hey Alex. Okay, this does not pause. Next, come to the Galactic Greenhouse. Okay, something is broken. Let's pause this and set active only. Hey Alex. Hey Alex. Welcome to the Galactic Greenhouse. It's been a long time. I see someone around here. We are growing plants, as you can see. And the timeline is finished. Not yet. So, what should I have? I have 7 of them. 8 and... Okay, let's start it again. 1, 2, 2 seconds. Okay, this is for 2, 6, no, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 18 seconds I will need at the beginning. And I needed to emit this and timeline signal on the 18 seconds. Okay, let's just place it in 10 and another one in 12. This is post timeline, and another one in 14 and another one in 16. So hey Alex, welcome to the Galactic Greenhouse. It's been a long time I see someone around here. We are growing plants. As you can see, some assistance. red square. Actually, in this section, I also can play with the camera. I'm thinking about this, but this is for the future, which is basically conduction, blah 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 blah. And in here, there will be an explanation. Index out of range. Okay. Oh, I see. The problem is over here because this is the order 8, 9. 9 is for the last one. Okay, let's play it again. Hey Alex, welcome to the Galactic Greenhouse. Blah blah. This is looking good. This is looking promising. I started to feel a little well for this timeline. Now it's ready to collect with the right. And then the game can start. By the way, during this time, I needed to disable the movement. This guy. And in the last section, I also needed to disable button. Should be enabled button or start chapter or start game button. Okay, let's duplicate this and start chapter button. What would be the start chapter button needed to be responsible of? Not playable director play, but okay, when pressed, this button should disable itself. And in order to do this, in addition to this, it needed to enable my player movements, which is probably this or this, or neither of this. In addition to enable or disable the movement, what can I do is that I can disable the joystick values, or I can just disable this character movements. Do you have any disable movements? Set disable movements. Yes, you are over here. How about an in-game GUI? Let's just player and character movement, set disable movements. True or false? Movement disabled. Movement disabled to false. Okay. And there is the timeline component. Beginning, this guy should be responsible for player, character movement, set disable movement to true. How about now? Can I move the character? No. Can I move it with keyboard? No. Can I move now? No. Does it move? No. Not yet. Greenhouse, blah 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 blah. Where? Now it's ready. Let's collect fruits. Okay, I forgot something else. For this should not be it, but game object set active true. Let's set this game object set active false for the start timeline. By the way, can I change the color of these signals? Hey Alex, can I move? No. Can I control? No. Welcome. Next, it's been a long time. Let's also see this timeline. Okay, looking good. Right now, this looks like next button, but yes, this is start chapter button. Right now, can I move? Yes. At the end of this thing, I can move, but in addition to this set disable movement to false and game object set active to false, I also wanted this dialog box or this talk balloon to be maybe the image, not the image, but talk balloon should be disabled also. Pull game object save to false. Best thing about this timeline, yes, I can just drag and drop at the end of this timeline. And this is looking good, and the game starts right now. So I like it. I like this workflow, and let's just these a few errors, and let's just create a create a new text file to here. So for the next section, I needed to start working on drag and dropping the items. Right now I'm not interested in the skinning, that's why I'm only with the cubes and drag and drop items, and in addition to this plant raise start actually plant raise zone, and what else I needed to funds on sections. And that's all for today, and this is for the to-do list for tomorrow, and it's just a good beginning for this game, and I hope this game will take less time than I expected. So that's all for today, and have a really nice day to all of you, and let's see you on the next episode, probably tomorrow. Have a nice day and see you. Bye.